Finding those operating dollars, on-air fundraising. So as we settled into our routines of making WAMU-FM the best, most diverse radio station in Washington, we still needed the money to maintain and, more importantly, expand and improve the station's services. In 1972, we embarked on our first on-air marathon to raise money from listeners. With very little publicity, we dedicated one entire weekend to the fundraising event. We received $4,200 in pledges and donations. Wow, this really works. We'll have to do it again sometime. That was the first of what was to become WAMU-FM's primary means of funding. During the course of the next few years, it seemed that the proceeds of these annual events grew geometrically. $8,400 the next year, $16,000 the following, $32,000, then $60,000 if I recall. In 2009, WAMU and its ancillary enterprises raised more than $5 million a year from listeners. But we, our generation, were the first. One weekend, Katie Daly, later my wife Pat, and Gary Henderson were fundraising with their bluegrass programming and listeners. They had been at the microphones all night long, and it was now just past dawn without much pledge activity. They kept bemoaning on the air how hungry they were, but were reluctant to leave their post to get something to eat. After an interlude of music, they came back on the air and jokingly said, "Here's a news bulletin. 2 bluegrass disc jockeys were found starved in the studios of WAMU-FM. Before they knew it, campus security was banging on the doors of the studio. They had reports of there being dead bodies in the station." 41 years later, Katie Daly would become the program director and manager of WAMU-FM's bluegrass music platform, bluegrasscountry.org.